Have you ever lain awake at night, staring at the ceiling, and thought, why do bad things keep happening to me? Maybe you've quietly said to yourself, this must be my bad karma, and you felt tired, unlucky, or even a little cursed. If you've ever had thoughts like that, I'd like to invite you to sit with me for a few minutes, just like two friends sharing a quiet cup of tea. Together, let's look a little more deeply into this word we hear all the time, karma. Maybe you try to be a good person. You work hard. You don't want to hurt anyone. Yet life still brings you sickness, heartbreak, financial stress, or loneliness. Then you look around and see someone who lies, cheats, manipulates people, and somehow they seem to be winning at life. More money, more power, more attention. In those moments, it's very natural to ask, where is karma? Where is justice? Why do I suffer while that person seems to succeed? Today, I don't want to give you a cold theory or a complicated philosophy. I want to speak to you in simple, human language, from the perspective of the Buddhist teaching, but also from the heart, so that you can understand your own suffering and your own happiness more clearly. When we don't understand karma, we often use it like a weapon against ourselves. This is my karma. I deserve this. This is my karma. Nothing can change. We blame fate. We blame the universe. And sometimes we even blame ourselves in a very harsh way. But when we begin to understand what karma really is, something changes inside. We stop feeling like helpless victims of life, and we start to see our own power, our own responsibility, and our own freedom. If you stay with me through this talk, I'll guide you later into a short, gentle reflection, nothing religious you have to believe in, just an honest look at your own patterns. My hope is that by the end, you will feel a little less afraid of karma and a little more hopeful about your future. First, though, before we talk about what karma truly is, we need to clear away some very common misunderstandings. Because if our understanding is wrong from the start, then everything built on top of it will also be shaky. So let's begin there. A lot of the confusion and fear around karma comes from simple misunderstandings. So before we talk about what karma really is, let's gently clear away some of these ideas that don't actually come from the Buddha, but from our culture, our fears, and our guesses. One very common misunderstanding is this: karma is a punishment system. If I do something wrong, the universe will punish me. So we imagine some invisible judge in the sky, keeping score of all our mistakes. When something painful happens, we think, there it is. I'm being punished. I must deserve this. But in the Buddha's teaching, there is no angry God waiting to hit you for every mistake. Karma is not a policeman hiding behind a tree with a radar gun. It's not a cosmic parent saying, you were bad, so now I'm going to make you suffer. Thinking of karma as punishment makes us small and scared. We start to see life as a courtroom instead of a classroom. But karma is much closer to a natural law than a moral judge. Fire burns whether you're a good person or a bad person. Gravity pulls whether you're a saint or a criminal. Karma is like that, impersonal, simple, just the way cause and effect unfold. Another misunderstanding is that karma is instant revenge that we sometimes think. If karma is real, then the moment someone does something bad should happen to them. If not, karma must be fake. But imagine a farmer who plants a seed in the soil. He doesn't come back the next morning and shout, "Where's my tree? Where's my fruit?" He knows that between seed and fruit there is time. There is rain, sun, wind, changing seasons, care, and patience. Karma works in the same way. Between our actions and their results, there are many conditions. Some results come quickly, some take years, some appear in ways we don't immediately recognize. Just because the timing isn't what we expect doesn't mean there is no cause and effect. It just means we're not seeing the whole picture yet. There's another heavy idea that really harms people. Everything in my life is because of karma, and karma is fixed, so I can't change anything. With this belief, when something bad happens, we sigh and say, "It's my karma," and we give up. We stay in unhealthy situations. We keep repeating painful patterns. We don't seek help, and we call it acceptance. But that's not wisdom. That's hopelessness dressed in spiritual language. If karma were completely fixed, if nothing could change, the Buddhist teaching would be pointless. There would be no reason to practice mindfulness, to meditate, to be kind, to do good. The whole purpose of spiritual practice is to show that change is possible, that even though we carry the past with us, we are not trapped by it. Yes, we inherit many things: our family, our body, our tendencies, our history. But in every moment, we still have some space, some freedom to respond. Karma is not saying, "You can never change." It's saying, what you repeatedly choose matters. It shapes your future. That's not a prison sentence. That's an invitation to responsibility and empowerment. And then there's this subtle misunderstanding. We use the word karma almost only for bad things. We lose money. That's karma. We get sick. That's karma. We're betrayed. Karma is hitting me. But when something good happens, when a friend shows up right when we need them, when an opportunity appears, when we feel strangely protected or supported, we rarely say, "This is good karma." We forget that kindness we receive, safety we enjoy, moments of joy and love, these are also karmic fruits. Some were planted by us. Many were planted by others, sometimes long before we were born. Think about it for a moment. Someone raised you. Someone grew your food. Someone built your house or your road. Someone invented the technology you're using to listen to this right now. You may never meet most of them, but their actions are part of the conditions for your life. This, too, is karma, just not in the scary way we often imagine. So let's pause and summarize what karma is not. Karma is not a cosmic punishment system. Karma is not instant revenge. Karma is not a fixed fate that you're helpless to change. And karma is not just about bad things happening. If we hold on to these mistaken ideas, we will either live in fear or we will use karma as an excuse, either to blame ourselves harshly or to avoid taking action where we actually could change something. Once we set these misunderstandings down, something important happens. We create space for a more peaceful, more empowering understanding. Instead of seeing karma as the universe out to get us, we begin to see it as a simple, reliable way that actions lead to results inside us and around us. And that brings us to the next, most important question. If karma is not punishment and not fate, then what is it, really, according to the Buddha? Let's turn to that now. So if karma is not a punishment system, not instant revenge, not a fixed fate, what is it really? Let's keep it very simple. In the Buddhist teaching, karma basically means intentional action. Not just any action, but action that comes from a choice in your heart and mind. When you hear the word karma, you can quietly translate it as, what am I choosing right now through my body, my speech, and my mind? The Buddha pointed very clearly to intention. If you bump into someone by accident and they get hurt, it's not the same as walking up to someone and punching them on purpose. Outside, someone is hurt in both cases. But inside, the energy is completely different. Karma is about that inner energy, the intention, the motivation, the choice behind what you do. Every day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep, you're creating karma through 3 doors. Through your body, what you physically do. Through your speech, what you say and how you say it. Through your mind, what you think, what you dwell on, what you wish for. Let's look at them one by one, in a human way. Through the body, we act. We hug, we push away. We help someone stand up, or we walk past them. We use our hands to build or to destroy. We take care of our health or we abuse our body. Each physical choice plants a seed. Through our speech, we create a huge amount of karma. A single sentence can heal or it can break a heart. We can lie to protect our ego, or we can tell the truth with courage. We can gossip and pass on rumors, or we can remain quiet. We can use sarcasm as a weapon, or we can use humor to lift people up. We can say, "I'm proud of you," "I'm sorry," "thank you," or we can withhold those words year after year. Every word we speak shapes the emotional climate around us. It also shapes the person we are becoming. And then there is the mind. This is where the deepest karma is formed. Even when your body is still and your mouth is closed, your mind is busy. You replay old arguments. You imagine new ones. You judge yourself, you judge others. Or you practice compassion, you wish people well, you remember something you're grateful for. When you constantly rehearse a story of, "I'm a failure," that repetition is karma. You're digging a groove in your nervous system. When you constantly rehearse a story of "they're all against me," you're planting the seeds of mistrust and isolation. On the other hand, when you deliberately bring your attention back to the present moment, when you notice a small kindness, when you silently wish someone well, even someone you dislike, you're planting completely different seeds. This is the key image I want you to remember. Your mind is like a garden. Every intentional thought, every word, every action is a seed. Some seeds grow into weeds. Anger, hatred, jealousy, bitterness, numbness. Some seeds grow into flowers and fruit. Clarity, patience, courage, kindness, joy. The garden doesn't decide what you plant. It doesn't punish you when you plant poison, and it doesn't reward you when you plant roses. It just grows whatever you put into it. That's how karma works. If you plant seeds of anger every day by replaying hurts, feeding grudges, speaking harshly, don't be surprised when your inner world becomes a forest of anger. You can't plant hatred and harvest peace. If you plant seeds of compassion by listening, by forgiving, by trying to understand before you react, don't be surprised when, over time, your presence becomes calming for others and healing for yourself. Now, karma doesn't always wait years to show its results. It works on many time scales. There are immediate effects. Say you're in traffic, someone cuts you off, and you explode with rage, shouting inside your car, cursing this stranger you'll never meet. In that moment, feel your body, your heart pounding, your jaw tightening, your shoulders rising, your breath getting shallow. That is karma. Your choice to feed that anger has an instant result in your nervous system. Or think of the moment you do something kind. Maybe you send a supportive text to a friend who's struggling, or you hold the door for someone, or you give a genuine compliment. Right after that, notice how your chest feels a little more open, your mood a little lighter. That warmth in your body is also karma, cause and effect happening right now. Then there are short-term effects, like the habits you form. Maybe you cope with stress by scrolling on your phone until 2 a.m. One night doesn't change your life, but repeat that for months. You're exhausted, your patience disappears, your health suffers. That's karma ripening slowly through repeated choices. Or maybe you start a habit of walking for 15 minutes each day, or journaling before bed, or taking 3 conscious breaths before responding in anger. One day seems small, but over months and years, those small choices shape your mental and physical health in a very real way. Finally, there are long-term effects, which are harder to see. Over years, your repeated reactions become your character. Are you becoming more bitter, more closed, more suspicious, or more open, more grounded, more compassionate? The person you are turning into, that's the long-term result of countless small karmic moments. One important thing here, karma isn't only about what happens to you, It's just as much about what's happening inside you. Two people can live through a very similar situation, losing a job, going through a breakup, facing illness, and have very different inner experiences. One may drown in resentment and blame. The other may feel pain too, but they also use the situation to grow, to understand themselves, to deepen their compassion. The outer event is similar, but their inner karma is different. So rather than asking only, "Why is this happening to me?" it can be more helpful to also ask, "What am I doing with what is happening to me? What seeds am I watering in how I respond?" Think of your daily life. When a difficult person appears in your day, a rude coworker, a demanding customer, a family member who knows exactly how to push your buttons, these moments are not just random annoyances. They're also opportunities to see your karma in action. Do you always respond with the same explosion, the same shutdown, the same sarcasm? Then you are rehearsing your karma, reinforcing the same pattern. If, just once in a while, you respond with a little more patience, or set a boundary calmly instead of aggressively, or walk away instead of escalating, then you are slowly teaching your nervous system a new way to be. You are planting different seeds. This is karma at its most practical. Your repeated ways of reacting are shaping your future. You might be thinking, "Okay, I get that my choices matter, but what about everything that has already happened? What about the seeds I've already planted, the habits I already have, the pain that's already here?" That's a fair question, and we'll talk more about transforming karma. But for now, just notice this. Even before we fix anything from the past, the present moment is already powerful. Right now, you can choose to add one more drop of anger to your life, or one more drop of understanding, one more drop of self-hatred, or one more drop of self-kindness. Over time, those drops add up. So, when we say karma, in a Buddhist sense, we're not talking about some mysterious force punishing or rewarding you. We're talking about the very concrete, very human reality that what you repeatedly think shapes the way you see the world. What you repeatedly say shapes your relationships. What you repeatedly do shapes your destiny. Karma isn't far away. It's here, in this breath, in your next word, in your next choice. Once we see karma this way, not as a curse, not as fate, but as the simple law of cause and effect in our own body, speech, and mind, then the big question becomes, what do we do with this knowledge in everyday life? How do we live, love, work, and suffer in a way that creates less harm and more freedom? Let's begin to explore that together. Let's bring this even closer now, into the everyday moments where you actually live your life. Karma can sound abstract when we talk about intentional action and seeds in the mind, but it becomes very real in your relationships, your work, and the way you talk to yourself when no one else is around. Think first about the people closest to you, your partner, your kids, your parents, your close friends. In every relationship, there's an emotional climate. Some relationships feel warm and safe. You can be yourself. You can make mistakes. You can laugh and cry. Other relationships feel like walking on eggshells. You're always careful, always tense, always slightly afraid of triggering something. This climate doesn't come out of nowhere. It's the result of many small karmic moments, little choices made over and over again. Imagine a couple. One partner, whenever they feel hurt or insecure, responds with sarcasm. They say things like, "Sure, whatever, you always know best," or "I should have known you'd screw this up." They rarely say what they're actually feeling. "I'm scared. I feel left out. I need reassurance." Instead, they attack or shut down. Now, that one sarcastic comment on its own isn't the whole story. But over time, day after day, year after year, these little stings build up. Each one is a karmic seed. The result? The relationship slowly fills with bitterness and distrust. Both people feel less safe, less understood, less willing to open their hearts. Now imagine that same partner learning, little by little, to respond differently. Maybe they still feel hurt or insecure, but instead of lashing out every time, sometimes they say, "That really stung. I feel hurt right now." Or, "I need you to know I'm feeling afraid." This isn't easy. It might feel awkward, but it's a new seed. And when that kind of honest, vulnerable communication is repeated, a different climate begins to grow, one of understanding instead of constant defense. That's karma in relationships. The way we habitually act and react shapes the love, trust, and safety we share, or the lack of it. Think of family dynamics as well. Maybe you grew up in a house where anger was the default reaction. Someone makes a mistake, someone forgets something, and boom, yelling, slamming doors, cold silence for days. That pattern is a karmic inheritance. You didn't choose it as a child, but it lives in your nervous system now. If you do nothing, that pattern will likely continue into your adult relationships. You may find yourself shouting like your parents did, or shutting down the way someone in your family used to. Not because you're bad, but because these reactions became your normal. They are karmic habits. But when you start to notice, I'm about to repeat that same explosion, or I'm going into that same cold silence again. In that moment of awareness, a new possibility appears. You can choose to take a breath, to step away for a minute, to say, "I need a moment to calm down." That tiny interruption is the beginning of new karma, a different inheritance for the people you love. Now let's look at work and money, because karma shows up there too. Maybe you've noticed that some people carry chaos with them wherever they go. Every job, they have the worst boss. Every group, there's always drama. Every project, there's some disaster. When patterns repeat like this, it's worth gently asking, what karma am I bringing into these situations? How am I contributing, even in small ways, to the same story over and over again? Perhaps you procrastinate until the last minute, then live in panic. Maybe you avoid difficult conversations, so problems grow bigger in the dark. Maybe you say yes when you mean no, and then you resent people for asking. These are karmic patterns at work, ways of acting that continuously create the same stress and confusion. Think about honesty and effort as well. When you cheat, even a little, it might seem like you're getting ahead. You fudge the numbers, you take credit for someone else's work, you cut a corner, you lie to save face. Outwardly, you might get the promotion, the praise, the approval. But inwardly, something else is happening. You start to look over your shoulder more. You're afraid of being found out. Your body carries more tension. You don't fully trust others because you know how easy it is to be dishonest. That creeping anxiety, that lack of trust, that restless feeling, those are karmic results. On the other hand, when you do your work with integrity, showing up, telling the truth, admitting mistakes, giving credit where it's due, you plant very different seeds. You build trust. People know your yes means yes and your no means no. You may not become a millionaire overnight, but you build something more solid, a reputation, a sense of self-respect, a kind of inner stability that no paycheck alone can create. Karma in the workplace isn't about some cosmic scoreboard. It's about who you are becoming through the way you handle success, failure, stress, and responsibility. And then, perhaps most importantly, there's the karma of your inner world, what you do in your own head all day long. Imagine that inside your mind, there's a radio station that never turns off. For some people, that station plays mostly criticism. You're not good enough. You messed up again. Look at them. They're doing better than you. What's wrong with you? That voice is not truth. It's karma. It's the result of many past experiences, comments, comparisons, and interpretations repeated until they feel like reality. Every time you listen to that voice without question, every time you agree with it, you plant the seed a little deeper. You may begin to sabotage opportunities, push away love, or shrink from your own potential, not because you can't, but because your karmic belief says, "I don't deserve it," or "I'll fail anyway." Now imagine a different inner habit. You still notice your mistakes. You still see where you fall short. But instead of immediately attacking yourself, you practice a different response. Maybe you say, "Okay, I messed up, but I'm human. What can I learn here?" Or, "Yes, I'm scared, but I can take one small step anyway." Or simply, "I'm doing the best I can with what I know today." At first, this might feel fake or weak, but over time, this is new karma. You're training your mind to respond with kindness instead of cruelty. You're building a relationship with yourself that is based on honesty and compassion, not shame. We also create a lot of mental karma through what we focus on. If you spend most of your time feeding anger, doom scrolling, arguing online, replaying every insult you've ever received, then anger becomes your home. Even in quiet moments, your body stays tight, your patience wears thin, your joy disappears quickly. If, on the other hand, you deliberately give some attention each day to things that nourish you, gratitude, beauty, connection, meaningful work, your inner life slowly shifts. This doesn't mean ignoring injustice or pretending everything is fine. It means balancing your awareness so that you're not living in a constant storm. Sometimes we say we want peace, but we live like we're addicted to emotional fire. We keep touching the same wound, telling the same painful story, surrounding ourselves with the same triggers. When we see that, we don't need to judge ourselves. We just need to recognize, this is the karma I've been feeding. Am I ready to feed something different? So you can see, karma is not only about dramatic events like accidents, windfalls, or sudden tragedies. It's in the little moments. How you talk to the barista when you're in a hurry. How you respond when your child spills something. Whether you apologize when you're wrong or defend yourself at all costs. Whether you send that angry text or pause and breathe instead. Whether you bring your full presence to a conversation or disappear into your phone. Each of these moments is small on its own, but taken together, they form the texture of your life. They create the person you become, a little more bitter or a little more open, a little more closed or a little more loving. When we really see this, we don't have to wait for some big spiritual experience. The spiritual path is already happening in the car, at the dinner table, in the office, in the supermarket aisle. Karma isn't waiting in some future lifetime. It's here, in how you live Monday morning. Now, maybe as you listen, you notice some painful patterns in your own life. Maybe you see how your reactions are damaging a relationship. Maybe you see how your habits are draining your energy. Maybe you recognize that inner voice that always attacks you. If that recognition feels heavy, please remember this. Seeing is the first step of freedom. If you can see a pattern, you are already standing a little bit outside of it. You're not completely fused with it anymore. That gap, however small, is where new karma can begin. So the question naturally arises, if karma shows up in all these ways, in our relationships, our work, our inner life, how do we actually change it? What can we do with all the seeds we've already planted? And how can we start planting different seeds from here? Let's turn to that now. By now you might be thinking, okay, I see that my patterns, my habits, my reactions are all part of my karma. But what about everything I've already done? What about the damage I've already caused to others and to myself? Is there any way to really change things? This is a very human question, and it's exactly where the Buddhist teaching becomes hope, not just explanation. First, let's be honest and clear. We cannot travel back in time and erase what has already happened. The words we said, we said. The choices we made. The people we hurt. The people who hurt us, they did what they did. Karma doesn't mean pretending none of that happened. But here is the good news. The story of those actions is not finished yet. Even though the past is fixed, our relationship to the past is not. The direction we move from here is not. We are not just the authors of what we did. We are also the authors of what we do next. Think again of that garden image. If you've planted a lot of thorny bushes, you may get scratched. You can't make those thorns magically disappear overnight. But you can decide, starting today, how much attention and water you give them. You can choose to stop planting more thorns. You can plant different seeds beside them. Over time, the balance of the garden changes. In the same way, transforming karma begins with 3 things. We stop creating new harm as much as we can. We deliberately cultivate good, and we train our awareness so we can see what we're doing in real time. The first step is simple to say, but not always simple to do. Stop feeding the old, harmful patterns. If you know that lying always comes back to bite you, then every time you catch yourself about to twist the truth, even in a small way, you have a chance to change your karma. You may still feel the urge to protect your image, but you can pause, take a breath, and choose honesty. In that moment, you're cutting one link in a chain that might have gone on for years. If you know your anger is hurting the people you love, then every time you notice that familiar heat rising in your chest, you have a choice. You might still feel angry. That's not something you can just switch off, but you can decide what you do with it. You can shout and slam doors like you always have, or you can say, I need a minute, step away, breathe, punch a pillow instead of a person, write down your thoughts before throwing them at someone. These may seem like small moves, but each one is the beginning of a different karmic story. Stopping harm also means learning to say no without hatred. Maybe you've stayed in situations that were bad for you, calling it my karma. But sometimes, changing karma means leaving what is unhealthy, ending a pattern of tolerating abuse, setting boundaries where there were none, seeking help where there was silence. You are not breaking karma by protecting yourself. You are refusing to let old karma keep writing the same chapter over and over. The second step is equally important. Plant new, wholesome seeds on purpose. You don't change your life only by not doing bad things. You change it by actively doing good ones. Think of generosity, kindness, patience, forgiveness. These are not just nice ideas. They are extremely powerful karmic actions. When you give, whether it's money, time, attention, or a listening ear, you're training your heart to live from, I have enough to share, instead of, I never have enough. That inner shift is karma. A person who always grabs and hoards might end up surrounded by stuff, but starved of real connection. A person who practices giving, even in small ways, often discovers a natural sense of abundance that isn't dependent on how much they own. Kindness is the same. When you choose to be kind in situations where you could easily be cold or indifferent, you're creating a different future version of yourself. One day you look back and realize, I'm not as hard as I used to be. I don't react as sharply as before. That didn't happen by accident. It came from many moments when you chose not to add more harshness to the world. Then there is forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean saying, what you did was okay. It doesn't mean trusting people who are still untrustworthy. It means you stop carrying the burning coal inside your own chest. You decide, I will not let this pain define me forever. That decision is deeply karmic. It changes the trajectory of your heart. Even very simple practices are seeds. Sending a kind message, thanking someone sincerely, really listening without interrupting, admitting I was wrong, telling someone I appreciate you, smiling at a stranger, offering help without expecting anything back. The world doesn't flash a neon sign saying good karma. when you do these things. But slowly, these seeds grow into a different quality of life, both inside you and around you. The third step is what holds everything together: awareness. Without awareness, we're like a sleepwalker acting out old karma on autopilot. We say the same lines, react the same way, and then ask, why does my life keep turning out like this? With awareness, we start to catch our patterns in the act. Think of awareness as turning on the light in a room you've been stumbling around in for years. The furniture doesn't move just because the light is on. You still have the same past, the same nervous system, the same history, but now you can see where things actually are. You don't have to walk into the same table over and over again. You might notice, whenever I feel criticized, I immediately attack, or whenever I feel lonely, I reach for something that hurts me, or whenever I feel scared, I shut down and push people away. Seeing that clearly isn't failure. It's the doorway out. One simple, powerful practice is this. When a strong emotion arises, anger, fear, jealousy, shame, try to do 3 things. Notice it, name it, breathe with it. Okay, anger is here, fear is here, shame is here. Not, I am anger, I am fear. Just, this is what's visiting me right now. Then take a few slow, deliberate breaths. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your body. You may still feel hot, uneasy, shaky. That's all right. You're not trying to erase the feeling. You're just trying to stop it from instantly turning into action. In that little pause, you've already changed your karma. Instead of being dragged by the emotion, you're standing beside it. You might still say something sharp. You might still fall back into an old habit. But the more you practice that pause, the more space you create between feeling and reaction. And in that space, new choices become possible. This is where meditation and mindfulness practices are so helpful, not as some religious ritual, but as brain and heart training. When you sit quietly and observe your breath, your thoughts, your feelings, you are strengthening the muscle of awareness. Then, in the middle of an argument, in the middle of a craving, in the middle of a panic, that muscle is more available to you. Now, does changing karma instantly erase all consequences from the past? No. Some things we have to live through. Some results will still unfold. But when you start practicing in this way, stopping harm, planting good, and staying aware, you begin to feel something shift. You might still get angry, but it doesn't control you as long. You might still feel afraid, but you don't run away every time. You might still make mistakes, but you repair them more quickly. You might still have pain, but it no longer defines your entire identity. And amazingly, the world around you begins to respond. People feel safer with you. Trust grows. Some relationships deepen. Others fall away because they were built on old karma that no longer fits who you are becoming. Certain habits lose their power. New, healthier patterns take their place. Sometimes we look at someone who seems peaceful, wise, grounded, and we think they were just born that way. But most of the time, that calm presence is the result of many, many karmic choices. Moments when they could have made things worse but chose not to. Moments when they gave instead of taking. Moments when they came back to their breath instead of exploding. You have that same possibility. Not to become someone else, but to become the best version of yourself. More awake, more compassionate, more free. So when you think about karma now, I invite you to shift the question. Instead of asking, what did I do to deserve this? Try asking, what am I going to do with this right now? Instead of asking, is my karma good or bad? Ask, what kind of karma am I creating in this very moment? You cannot rewrite the first chapters of your story, but you are still holding the pen for the next ones. The past is the soil you stand on. The present is the seed in your hand. The future is the garden you are growing toward. And remember, you do not have to do this perfectly. You will slip back into old habits. You will say things you regret. You will forget everything you've heard here and then remember again. That, too, is part of the human path. What matters most is not never falling, but gently returning again and again to this simple intention. May my thoughts, my words, and my actions today move in the direction of less harm and more love. Every time you return to that, you are already transforming your karma. We've talked a lot about what karma is and how it works. Now I'd like to invite you to not just understand it with your mind, but to feel it directly in your own life. If you're able to, find a comfortable position. You don't have to sit in any special spiritual pose. Just sit in a way that feels stable and relaxed. Let your hands rest on your lap or by your sides. If you feel safe, you can gently close your eyes. If not, just soften your gaze. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a long, easy breath out through your mouth. Do that again, in and out. Let your shoulders drop just a little. Let your jaw unclench. Feel the weight of your body being held by the chair, the couch, the floor. You don't have to hold yourself together in this moment. Let the earth do that for you. Now, as you continue to breathe, I'd like you to bring to mind one habit of yours that you know is hurting you or hurting someone you care about. It doesn't have to be the worst thing about you, just one honest pattern. Maybe it's the way you snap at people when you feel stressed. Maybe it's the way you shut down and disappear when conflict appears. Maybe it's the way you numb out with your phone, food, alcohol, or work. Maybe it's that harsh inner voice that never lets you feel good enough. See if you can picture a recent moment when this habit showed up. Like watching a short clip from a movie. See where you were, what was said, what you did, what you felt. And as you watch, try to do it without attacking yourself. You're not here to punish yourself. You're here to understand. Gently say in your mind, "This is one of my karmic patterns. This is a seed I've been watering." Now, quietly ask yourself, if I keep feeding this pattern for the next 5 years, where will it take me? If I keep reacting this way in arguments, what will happen to my relationships? If I keep talking to myself this way, what will happen to my confidence, my dreams? If I keep numbing myself this way, what will happen to my body, my mind, my future? Don't force an answer. Just let images or feelings come. Maybe you see more distance, more loneliness, more exhaustion. Maybe you feel your chest get a little heavier. Let that truth touch you, not to create shame, but to awaken a deeper care for your own life. Now, take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Let that image softly fade, like a scene gently dissolving on a screen. Next, bring to mind one good quality you already have. Maybe you're patient with children. Maybe you're loyal to your friends. Maybe you're generous, or you have courage, or you simply have a sincere wish to grow and heal. Choose one, and remember a real moment when you expressed it. A time you helped someone without expecting anything back. A time you told the truth even though it was hard. A time you showed up for someone. A time you kept going even when you were afraid. See that moment in your mind. Notice what your face looked like, what your posture was like, how your heart felt afterward. Now ask yourself, if I water this quality every day for the next 5 years, where will it take me? If I practice this kind of honesty, kindness, courage, or patience over and over, what kind of person will I become? What will it feel like to live inside that version of me? How will the people around me experience my presence? Maybe you see a calmer you, a more grounded you, a kinder, clearer, more confident you. Let that image sink in, not as a fantasy, but as a very real possibility that grows from very real choices. Take another slow breath in and out. Now, in the quiet of your own heart, I'd like you to make a very small, gentle commitment. Not a huge dramatic promise, just a clear, simple direction. You might say, silently, "From today, I will try to notice this harmful pattern when it appears and pause before I act." Or, From today, I will make a little more room for this good quality in my daily life. Choose words that feel true for you. Let them be kind. Let them be realistic. You are not promising to be perfect. You are just turning your face, very slightly, toward a different future. Feel that intention in your body for a moment. Notice how it feels to say yes to your own growth, even in a small way. Now, once again, feel your feet on the ground. Feel the weight of your body. Notice the sounds in the room, the temperature of the air on your skin. When you're ready, you can gently open your eyes or lift your gaze. As you come back, remember this: nothing magical happened just now, and yet, something very important has begun. You looked honestly at one of your harmful patterns. You imagined where it leads if you keep feeding it. You remembered a good seed in you. You imagined where that could lead if you choose to water it, and you set a small intention to move in that direction. This is how karma really changes, not in one big dramatic moment, but in many quiet, sincere moments like this. So as you go back into your day, you don't have to constantly think about karma as a heavy spiritual term. Just remember the simple questions. What seed am I watering right now? What kind of person am I becoming through this thought, this word, this action? You won't get it right every time. None of us do. There will be days when you react in the old ways, say the old words, make the old mistakes. When that happens, try not to use karma as another stick to beat yourself with. Instead, notice it, learn from it, and begin again. That is also karma, the karma of returning, of not giving up on yourself. My wish for you is this: may you see your patterns clearly, without fear. May you remember that you are not fixed. That change is possible, step by step. May you plant and water the seeds of wisdom, compassion, and courage in your own heart. And may the karma you create from this day forward bring more freedom, more understanding, and more love into your life and into the lives of the people around you. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this talk has helped you, even a little, I invite you to carry one sentence, one image, or one small practice back into your everyday life. That is how these teachings truly live, not in our ears, but in our choices. May you be safe. May you be well. May you grow the garden of your life with care.